back to Homestead Corner. Today I'm going to put together a small basic fishing kit for emergency situations. So today I thought I would put together a small fishing kit just for those emergency situations. In the event of a long-term collapse or anything like that, if something were to happen that was really long-term, I think your food storage is super important in the very beginning because you've got to have that food to get you through. I think it'd be very chaotic and a lot of people going nuts, and it'd be very dangerous to go out. So having months worth of food so you can stay home and be safe, I think is really important. After that, I think things would start to settle down in a really long-term situation because, you know, law enforcement, we will get a little law and order back in, I think, after probably 3 or 4 months. I think it would be months, though, of people going nuts. So after that, you are going to hopefully be able to go out and get things to help add to your food storage. I think fishing is a great way to do it. It's fairly inexpensive, and you know, it is a little time consuming because you have to wait for the fish. I grew up fishing, so I know a little bit about it. I'm definitely not a pro or anything, but I know, you know, where to look for worms and different kinds of stuff that you need to go fishing. So I thought I would just share putting together a small little tackle box, something that's very portable, easy to put in a go bag. And I have just a basic fishing rod. I don't have anything fancy. You know, I'm not a fly fisher or anything like that. Just a regular, I think this came from Walmart, just a little open face, Shakespeare, you know, and it's pink because why not? But you can get open face, closed face, you know, all different kinds of rods and reels, and there's all sorts of stuff. And this is just a $25, $30 cheap fishing pole. And I definitely would look at yard sales, thrift stores, and things like that. If fishing is not normally your thing, I think it's good to have it on hand just in case in that long-term situation you may need it eventually. So let's get started on this little kit. See what I got? It was only 20 bucks, so there's not a whole lot here, but it's enough to get you fishing. So first off, I picked up this little outdoor box. It is waterproof. It has a little hook so you could attach it to something. It definitely would float down the river unless you had it filled with sinkers. Then it might sink. But it's got a little rubber inside here so it makes it waterproof, and you could put whatever else in here you wanted if you had documents you had to carry or whatever. The next thing I got is obviously some fishing line, and I went with a 15-pound test. 15 pounds, most of the time you're not really going to be fishing for fish bigger than that. 15 pounds should do it, especially if you're in a river or something like that. A lot of times you're getting smaller fish. If you're fishing out to sea, you're definitely going to want something bigger than that. And the next thing is just a little pack of rubber worms. Rubber worms are great if, you know, the fish in your area are into it. That's one thing about tackle, is it can be very different in different areas. Some fish are going to go after shiny things. Some are going to prefer, you know, a darker worm, some a brighter worm. It's really different. You know, fish are fish, and they don't all like the exact same thing. But I think rubber worms are definitely something good to have in your fishing kit. Next, what did I get? Okay, I got 2 little swimming baits. These are just little rubber fish. I got blue ones, they had silver. You could get any kind, really. I think it's just the sparkly, so the light glints off it, so the attracts the fish's eye. And these are pre-hooked, So you can hook them right up to a swivel or a lead, whatever you have. The next thing is some snells, and these are just little fishing hooks already tied on, and they've got the little, I don't know if you can see them, there's little hooks here, so they hook right to the swivel. Super easy to get your hook hooked up to your fishing pole that way. And then I got a pack of swivels. These are perfect. You tie this piece onto your fishing line, and then you can easily hook all your stuff to it, which is great. And it will spin without getting all tangled up because everything's going wild in the water. And the next thing I got is just some number 2 hooks. I think the smaller hooks are probably better for, you know, river fishing, things like that. We're not going to have a giant, humongous fish in there. So smaller hooks, you could have a nice variety of hooks, but for $20, I was limited on how much stuff I could get in here. And let's see, some heavy duty wire leaders. We grabbed these as well. Definitely, especially if you're going with some heavier fishing. We used to fish down to the ocean for bluefish and stripers and things like that. So we always use wire leaders because they got those little teeth. They'll chew right through it. But and lastly, I picked up a package of unbreakable bobbers. These are like the foamy kind instead of the hard plastic. Like on here, these, if I can get it down, these plastic ones, these are great too. They work really well, but if you smack them on a rock, a lot of times they're gonna bust in half. So these I thought were a little bit better of a deal. They're like a foam, so they're going to float and not get broken if you hit a rock with them. And because sometimes you'll be whipping it around, line around, it'll hit a rock and snap. The bobber will break. So that is it. It's just a small little fishing kit, but in an emergency situation, I think it would be perfect to have this. In a long-term situation, you may have to go out and fish to get some food. You may have to hunt. Being prepared for that kind of situation, I think, is really important. And if you have any other favorite little fishing items that you think should be in this kit and may be important to someone, definitely put them in the comments down below. I love to see everybody's ideas, and it's really helpful for the other people in the community. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.